Previously on the Pastor's Chronicles. Comedian Russell Brand posted a video on social media entitled WAP, Feminist, Masterpiece, or Porn, in which he discussed whether or not the song in the video were truly empowering to women. He asked if feminism means to achieve equality by aspiring to and replicating the values that have been established by males. He called the song a sort of capitalist objectification and commodification. First, the statue is lactating, which appears to be a reference to the fact that Cardi B is a mother. Despite this fact, she's been whored out. It is almost as if they're ridiculing the sacredness of motherhood. The physical features of the fountain includes the tongue sticking out, appears to be inspired by the classic deception of the Hindu goddess Kali. Now, this clay that you're seeing here is Kolad temple in India. The occult elites love to use Hindu deities in symbolic scenarios. Who director General Tedros here is with Chinese officials. This meeting is presided by a massive statue of Shiva, which is the destroyer of worlds, symbolic.
So I have been teaching about 7/11 for many years now. The September 11th attacks were actually not the 9/11 attacks, they are the 7/11 attacks because septem means 7. And for those that watch my videos, you'll know that I am the only one who actually discovered that September 11th is the anniversary date of the World Trade Center. It is the very day that Henry Hudson sailed into Manhattan Bay, which is known as Manhattan Bay today, on the Half Moon ship on September 11th. But I'll be doing a little bit more on September 11th a little later in this video, and of course the meaning of 7/11. So Beyonce made a video called 7/11. But before we get into the esoteric ritualistic symbolism of 7/11, we're going to look at the video that she actually made where she is performing what is known as the death dance. She is performing the death dance of Kali. So if you've watched my videos over the years, you'll know that I've actually exposed this Kali dance before when I showed Obama on the cover of Newsweek doing his Black Kali death dance. And of course that's why the Karate Kid also performed the dance of death. And of course that's why she's wearing the Kali sweatshirt. And you'll notice that it's black, which is the color of what Kali means. It means the black one, the one of death. So Beyonce is actually doing this death dance ritual of Kali because she is celebrating something. Thus, the death dance of Kali is in celebration of her victory over her opponent. And if you watched Alice in Wonderland, when Alice slayed the head off of the Jabberwocky, then the Mad Hatter did the victory dance of death.
Ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em when they get beat with the venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not going with 'em, never gonna slow up in 'em. Ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em.
Therefore, in this chronicle, we will touch on a long overdue subject concerning Cardi B. Welcome to Sex Kitten Cardi B Chronicles. Welcome back to another episode of the Pastor's Chronicles. Before we get started, I would like to invite you to click the link below and join me on Facebook, the Pastor's Chronicles. Also, I would like for you to follow me on Instagram, where you have a lot of updates there. And also join me on my platform, the Pastor's Chronicles. And you can subscribe to that too. And also I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click the bell so you can get updates and whatnot, so you won't. And I'm dropping right now Tuesdays and Thursdays, and so people, please come back. And I usually drop around 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come through and check me out, because people are not getting notifications. Upon that note, let's get started with the next part of this chronicle. So we're going to start this chronicle off like this.
I had to ask some friends because I was hearing a lot about her, and so they told me, who she was and what she was doing. And I come from the school of thought there's just some things that the public just shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like things that happen between two people, a wife and a husband, girl. I just don't think that it's for mass consumption. I just have always felt that way, and I just think that the whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and kind of bastardized. Like whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there. Like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. This it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
The very first album I ever bought was the Incubus album that had Pardon Me on it, because I wasn't really allowed to listen to a whole lot of music growing up. I grew up in a really strict household. Both my parents are traveling ministers, so MTV and everything else was really fused. All y'all were on block. I never saw any music videos or anything, unfortunately, but I remember bringing it home. It was kind of like an almost famous moment. I had to smuggle it in my knapsack, going straight directly into my room, and then pulling it out, and as I was pulling out the CD, well, needless to say, sold my soul.
You're doing really well now, but didn't you release a CD like almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
In short, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are associated with the goddess Kali, who is a lustful yet destructive goddess while also being an icon for modern feminists. However, there's a major difference between Cardi B and Kali B. Kali is an unrestrained force of nature that transcends the material world, and Cardi B is a slave, whore, stuck inside a house. Now, they said there's some holes in his house, okay? After passing through the symbolic fountains, we enter the house. Then the beat begins, coupled with a looping sample that goes, there's some holes in his house. Then the whores come out. I mean, the beat repeatedly calls Cardi B and Stallion hoes. And the uses of this word is rather off-putting. I kind of get how the word B was reappropriated to signify a fierce yet unapologetic woman, kind of, but the word whore is different. It has an ancient and visceral feel to it. It's powerful in its own right. For centuries, it was meant to denigrate prostitutes and immoral women, and it goes all the way back to the biblical whore of Babylon. Calling someone a B is one thing, but a whore, that's like a serious insult that reverberates through the centuries. Anyways, so these two whores are walking around the house, and as we see there's some symbolisms around them, we understand that they are not regular whores. They are sex slaves meant to service the occult elite. So let's look into beta kitten programming.
One becomes one, and one how is it initiated and how the program works. Now, first things first, if you are a victim or a recovering victim or have gone through the process of being a sex beta kitten, or you've gone through the trauma, please do not watch this video. This is not for you because you've already been through it. What I don't want is for those that have gone through this programming to watch this video and they become triggered or start reliving past trauma. That is not my intent. I'm not here to antagonize or raise your anxiety levels. This is mainly for people that like to use a term and don't understand where it comes from and why this program is used in Hollywood the way it is. This is probably the most in-depth article I've found on the Sex Kitten programming, because I didn't really feel like doing an actual video about it. So I'm doing a lazy route. But let's go over this article. It's pretty lengthy, so I have to chop it up in a couple of parts. But Monarch programming is a method of hard mind control used by numerous organizations for covert purposes. It is a continuation of Project MKUltra, a mind control program developed by the CIA and tested on the military and civilians. The methods are astonishingly sadistic. Its entire purpose is to traumatize the victim, and the expected results are horrifying. The creation of a mind control slave who can be triggered at any time to perform any action required by the handler. While the mass media ignores this issue, over 2 million Americans have gone through the horrors of this program. Monarch programming is a mind control technique comprising elements of satanic ritual abuse and multiple personality disorder. It utilizes a combination of psychology, neuroscience, and occult rituals to create within the slaves an alter persona that can be triggered and programmed by the handlers. Monarch slaves are used by several organizations connected with the world elite in fields such as military, sex slavery, and the entertainment industry. The beta programming, the sex kitten. Beta is referred to as sexual programming. This programming eliminates all learned moral convictions and stimulates the primitive instinct devoid of inhibitions. Cat alters may also come out of this. Known as kitten programming, it is the most visible kind of programming, as some female celebrities, models, actresses, and singers have been subjected to this kind of programming. In popular culture, clothing with feline prints often denote kitten programming. Beta, this is the second Greek letter, and it represents the sexual models and sexual alters that the programmers are creating. The primitive part of the brain is involved in this type of programming. An early sexual abuse event will be used to anchor this programming. These sexual slaves will develop sexual abilities that are far beyond what the public is aware is even possible. They also receive the worst kind of abuse, far beyond what most people's imaginations can picture.
One had the foresight years ago to know what Brooklyn could become, and he played an important role in the renaissance of our thriving world. In addition, Glenn was a key player in helping to found the team's future HSS training center, location in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Glenn also gives back to the community as the founder of Brooklyn 1834, which provides a forum for the world's up-and-coming artists. Due to illness, Glenn could not be here tonight. He's fighting his illness with a
this spasm of publicity about what happened from Mexico to London.
It was pretty rough, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Ah, weird. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. Ew. Strong Brittany. Yeah, it was a weird time. Ew. I'm embarrassed. Can we stop this?
Purple cat mask symbolizes the slave's alter sex kitten persona. A reflection representing the multiple alters of the monarch's slave. The shadow represents shadow alters created to hold the pain when the main alter dissociates from torture. Ball of string wrapped around the wrist. You also see this with the red string around a lot of Hollywood. People in Hollywood, they wear the red string around the wrist. That represents ball and chain, symbolizing the slave's imprisoned, restrained mind. Now, sexual alters, the sex kitten programming. The torture and sexual abuse eventually becomes gratifying to the mind. The mind does a reversal. Pain becomes pleasure. At any rate, the programmers are trying to get a type of nymphomaniac. They accomplish this on one level. The sexual alters have no feelings attached to what they do, and their masters never allow them to enjoy sex. They are not to have climaxes, although they may be coached how to fake it. The programmers have been heard to program their slaves, don't be a hustler, and don't pick up strays. The programmers must now groom these alters. Females and some males need to learn how to appear and act seductive. The programmers understand human nature. They understand that there is a spectrum of female sexuality, where on one end of the spectrum, females guard their bodies with their minds, and on the other end, they guard their emotions with their bodies. When a woman guards her emotions with her body, she is the type who craves sex for the physical pleasure of sex. Then there are an entire cluster of behavior traits that go with this type of personality, such as the way they walk, use their eyes, stare at men, the way they dress. These sexual groomers and programmers will teach the sexual alters these clusters of behavior. These sexual alters will also pick up lots of expertise naturally during the years of having to sexually service hundreds of abusers in every fashion imaginable. When Roseanne Barr, a monarch slave, in a TV interview, Barbara Walters said, I've been screwed every way possible. She was not exaggerating. The Gumby programming is to make the slave think their body is like Gumby and is flexible to move into any position. The slave is repeatedly threatened with their life if they do not perform perfectly. Alright, so here we have a little girl for French Vogue magazine. Alright, so the dark occultists who run the entertainment industry utilize fashion as a means of occult communication to others in the know, indicating through symbolism the individuals they have under their control as literal sex slaves. Animal print clothing is employed for this method of communication, as it symbolizes the uninhibited or wild instincts brought out in the slave via Project Monarch's beta or sex kitten programming, and when triggered will perform any action or sex act required by the handler. And this form of mind control essentially destroys the sacred feminine within the female victim, turning them into nothing more than a piece of meat to be used and abused by the handler at any given time. Women, however, are not the only gender who suffers from this form of programming, as many men who have undergone monarch programming signify beta programming via the animal print clothing they wear. The following pages primarily cover the female victims of beta programming, but if you do an image search for male celebrities, you will find more well-known men and young adults wearing animal print clothing. Sometimes fashion trends have deeper and darker symbolic significance. And so here's the subliminal clothing. So we got Malin Ackerman, Jessica Alba, Jamie Alexander, Gillian Anderson, Pamela Anderson, Jennifer Aniston. We have more here: Christina Applegate, Gemma Arterton, Kim Basinger, Kate Beckinsale, Kristen Bell, Monica Bellucci. And for those who remember Monica Bellucci, she played in that one particular movie with that horrific rape scene in the hallway. Horrific. I don't think that was fake, me personally, but feel free to disagree. Here are the men. This version of Justin Bieber: Sacha Baron Cohen, Russell Brand, Kevin Hart, Kanye West, Jaden Smith. More male victims: Chris Brown, Greg Oreski, CeeLo Green, Garrett Hudlin, Michael Jackson, Wiz Khalifa, Bruno Mars, Keith Richards, Rod Stewart, Harry Styles, Steven Tyler.
Theta programming, special agents and program assassins, and beta programming, sex slaves used in elite circles. Check this out. Beta is referred to as sexual programming slaves. The programming eliminates all learned moral convictions. Do you understand? Beta, let's read it again. Beta is referred to as sexual programming slaves. There's programming, listen, and you say, well, how can they do these things in this video? Because their mind, the sensuality of exploring their bodies in this faction is wiped out. Okay? All right? So all learned moral convictions and stimulates the primitive instincts devoid of inhibitions. Cat alters may come out at this level, known as kitten programming. It is the most visible kind of programming, as some female celebrities, models, actresses, singers have been subject to this kind of programming. In popular culture, clothing with feline prints often denotes that this person is under kitten programming. The WAP video is exactly about this, right down to the overload of feline prints. In the video, Cardi B, Megan the Stallion, and all of the other guests in the video play the role of beta slaves servicing elite customers. And so this is funny because people, we watching what's actually happening in Hollywood. We actually watching this, and we knowing what these women and men are going through just to have wealth. These people sold their soul, but they have to, in return, their bodies are to be a playground, a sexual playground for these top elites. And so in that, it's some holes in this house. Only the top elites can go there and have sex with these celebrities that you see. They run on these people, old men, old Jewish men, old politicians, Masonic people, leaders. All these people go and they run up in these celebrities, men and women. Sometimes these celebrities have to have sex with animals. Sometimes they have to have sex with each other. And they do the incredible things to these people, but they say certain keywords that will bring them into the sunken place, so they will not know what they're doing. And then when they snap out of it, hey, it's all over. They don't know what happened because their mind is being controlled. Their mind has been Their brains have been compartmentalized to where it shatters and broken up into several compartments of the brain to where the handler can use these people and pimp them to the elites. So these videos as revealed is all rewards for these people, these beta program slaves, to receive monies, and they load them up with monies, they load them up with fame and popularity, but behind closed doors they are sex slaves.
Or you're somebody who likes channels like this and you hate to see the suppression that goes on, how they constantly are flagging our videos. We aren't allowed to have opinions about anything that's not, that doesn't fit the straight and narrow. Get a load of this new Cardi B music video called Money. Literally, there are nude women in the video. 5 seconds into the video, bare breasts and nipples. And I know people will write in the comment, oh my gosh. Well, there was a time where, that was considered pornography. And at the very least, nudity isn't allowed on YouTube. So is Cardi B going to get a strike on her channel? Of course not. Of course she's not. Not only that, YouTube will go out of their way to put it in the trending section. So the hypocrisy that is YouTube, why don't people go over there, flag it? Why don't you send messages to YouTube on Twitter, email them, call them, let them know, they have a problem with free speech. Free speech, which is our God-given right, which is a part of Americana, to have the right to have an opinion that differs from somebody else. But because people are so weak now, because we have men dressing as women and all that stuff, it's considered hate speech if you don't accept the lunacy that is today's world. And what do? They flag, they strike, and they allow stuff like this to go up. Now, this is just nothing but pornography throughout the video. Women with their legs spread, nipples exposed, butts bare naked. The Cardi B is butt naked in the video playing the piano. But hey, I need to get with it. It's 2018, right? That stuff's okay, but free speech isn't, because it's hateful, because nobody has a backbone and a spine anymore. So let's take a look at Cardi B's video here. I've covered Cardi B, right? The Freemason symbolism always there. She comes out and tries to deflect. She actually even answers people who say she's Illuminati, and she's like, I'm not Illuminati, holding up the 666, doing all the basic devil horns, serpent's tongue, black and white Freemasonry. This is, or looks to be, literally being filmed inside a Masonic lodge. You'll see all the black and white colors right on top of the Masonic checkerboard floor, right? Everybody's wearing black and white. Everybody's hat is hiding their eye, right? So you have your one eye symbolism. While you even get some of these women who are naked in most of the shots, so it's hard to even show screen captures, with pyramids underneath their eyes, drawn on their eyes. I mean, I guess everybody, black and white is just in. The black and white colors are just in. The black and white tiles are just in. Just like eyeballs are in. Just like pyramids are in, right? Everybody wants to be an optometrist. Everybody wants, how much more repetition needs to be shown? Cardi B, even on her album cover, has the black and white checker outfit on. Okay, this is all about Freemasonry. The secret societies that worship Lucifer. It starts at the bottom with Freemasonry, and these people network into different secret societies, but they all do the same rituals. They all worship Lucifer. And these are the people who are the controllers. They run your government. They are CEOs of corporations. They are the people positioned as famous actors, entertainers, and musicians. They're all linked to Freemasonry, and they don't hide it. The problem is that the listener, the fan, doesn't want to see it. They want to believe in this world where they can achieve dreams, right? That's why you constantly have them on television talking about, oh, I'm chasing my dream, American Idol, all these shows where you could be the next big singer. You know why they do that? Because they want you to be the rat in the wheel, chasing something you could never obtain. This world is controlled. These secret societies control the world. And even these musicians, I hate to break it to you, they're not more talented than other people. You could go to a karaoke bar and hear people who sound similar, okay? This song that she's singing here, she's just screaming about what? Money and sex, right? What a surprise. And people are just like, cool, yeah, cool. They're shooting money out of, they're just firing money all over the place, throwing money, right? This is what they want the world to strive for. Remember, everything's inverted. The opposite of what God says they do. They want you to strive for money, for paper, for sex, right? And then they use repetition in the lyrics and they just say it over and over and over again. Money, 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 sex, sex, sex. That's all she says in the song. It says she loves sex in the morning and she loves money. Wow. That must have taken her years to write. She really had to dig deep for inspiration. Why do you think all these songs are the same and about the same stuff? Party, drink, do drugs, right? It's the destruction of morality of the youth out there. And they come to the defense of these false idols who are the influencers who influence their behavior. They influence the things they do, and they influence them into doing the do without wilt mindset, which is the mindset of all Luciferian Satanists. Do without wilt shall be the whole of the law. That's what they live by. And we're at that point now. But the only thing, do without wilt, the only thing that's not allowed is free speech against that system. Right? That's the thing that they hate the most. Oh, no. Sticks and stones apparently are breaking people's bones now. Or wait, how does it say? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt, right? Well, I guess, now words are hurting people like sticks and stones because everyone's spineless and they don't see that they're trying to steal free speech away. The destruction of all of our constitutional rights are being stripped. So again, back to the video where you'll see just the nonsensical behavior that just absolute just garbage and filth that people like this promote, right? All you need is money and all you need is sex and your life will be wonderful, right? A godless society. She's dressed up, she's got the Egyptian outfits on. She's even shows that she's a puppet for these people as she's sitting inside of this glass box, dressed in her Egyptian attire. You could see the elitists, the old men walking around in their tuxedos, staring at her, licking their lips, being disturbing and disgusting, because this is what they are. These people are handlers for these musicians, for these actors, the elites, the CEOs of corporations, the heads of Sony, the heads of all of these production companies, the people that nobody think about. They don't go, oh, wow, that guy's the owner of Warner Brothers, or that guy's the owner of, some production company that makes billions and billions. People just think about these people. These people are handled and controlled by those people. Those people don't want the fame. These people want the fame. Right? They sell their soul. They do their deeds. They do their bidding. They tell them what to sing about. They tell them what to wear. They tell them what hand symbols to show because they're indoctrinated with all of this stuff. Most of these people go through trauma-based mind control at a young age. That's why most of these musicians come from Disney or Nickelodeon, right? Like Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, all coming from, Mickey Mouse Club and all this other crap. They're controlled from the beginning. Their parents usually are part of a coven or a secret society, and they allow the abuse to their children. They allow the mind control because that's what they're told. That's what they do. That's what they follow. So the entire video, everybody's one eye is covered by their hat the whole time. Like I said, there's pyramids underneath. There's black and white floors. There's black and white clothing. All the clothing pretty much is black and white. If she's not wearing that, she's either wearing nothing or she's wearing, the Egyptian attire. And this is, you can even see the Masonic pillars in the backdrop against the wall with the arch over it, right? What we see in Freemasonry, the gateway. It's all there. It's always there. It's always revolving around Freemasonry. And again, if you're new to this, or you're someone who's a fan, you're like, I don't even know what this guy's saying. What's Freemasonry? Look up Freemasonry in your town. Type in Freemason Lodge. You'll find one in your town or the town next to yours if you have a small town. This is where it starts. This is where they network. This is where the controllers lie. And these people, in the beginning, they aren't even sure what they're getting into, but all Freemasons, they tell you, must believe in God, a God, right? That's one of the requirements. That's how they deceive people, because they go, oh, well, they believe in God. They believe God is Lucifer. That's who they worship. And as they grow through Freemasonry, they start to worship Lucifer. They realize that Lucifer is the light bearer. That's what they believe. Okay? And they're the controllers over all industry. There's no dreams you're striving for. Cardi B didn't just, the stories you hear behind these people, she worked so hard to get there. They're not true. They're not true. They want you to strive to try to be like these immoral pieces of garbage. They want you to live by the same code of conduct that they live by, which is immorality, perversion, lust for money, lust for blood. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. Cardi B is just another one of these Freemasonic puppets. Doesn't matter what but she tells her Instagram followers she's not. Oh, yeah. I'm sure, and the devil would admit that, the devil would tell the whole world what his real plan is. The Antichrist is presenting himself as a good person. So will Lucifer. Oh, I freed everybody from God's bondage of these laws and these rules. This is what they believe. Just more crap. YouTube promotes it. YouTube allows it. You got people on YouTube who don't even dive deep into stuff. I walk along this shallow waters now because going deep into stuff, you just know you're getting a flag. Like, I got a strike just for saying that I believed it. What a coincidence it was between two events that occurred. And I can't even say the names of the places or they'll flag the video. Let's just say two events where guns were involved. And then we have people saying they were at both places in the same year. And I was talking about what are the odds? That's all. I didn't make any accusations against any specific people. All right? You can't say a specific place over, where bagels are loved. You can't say these things. But they can show butt-naked people on here and still get ads in their videos on top of it. What a joke. More Masonic filth from the music industry from Cardi B.
And through predictive programming, they showed us about the coronavirus that they launched out into this world, took the coronavirus and gave it 10 notches up, calling it the COVID-19. This will actually be the next Chronicle I will be doing. So I want you to stay tuned for my upcoming Chronicle titled COVID-19 Chronicles. So make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you can get the updates, so you will not miss this powerful chronicle that I'm going to do after this one, after the Sex Kitten Cardi B.
I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up, and I'm never gonna slow up, and I'm ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em. When they get beat with the, I said knock knock, let the devil in, shotgun, tangular shape that I wait to face the demons I'm bonded to, cause they're chasing me, but I'm part of you, so escaping me is impossible. I latch onto you like a parasite, and I probably ruined your parents' life and your childhood too. Cause if I'm the music that y'all grew up on, I'm responsible for you, the Austin fools. I'm the super villain, dad and mom is losing their marbles too. You marvel that Eddie Brock is you, and I'm the suit, so call me Venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up, and I'm